we talk about jazz, the instrumentalists get all of the love. Let's give the singers some well-deserved attention today and spotlight 10 of the greatest jazz singers of all time, with a few surprises along the way. Let's kick this list off right with the amazing Nina Simone, not only an exceptional singer, but also a prominent figure in the civil rights movement. Her soul-stirring performances and powerful songs like To Be Young, Gifted, and Black became anthems for social change. She introduced the song in 1969 at the Harlem Cultural Festival. The festival recently resulted in a documentary titled Summer of Soul that contains Simone's performance and was directed and released by Questlove in 2021. If you haven't seen it yet, it's really worth checking out. Simone was a classically trained pianist who really got her start as a child prodigy playing piano during church services. Little Girl Blue is an amazing example of Simone singing and iconic piano playing. This is a 1981 reissue on Sal Soul Records. I picked this one up because the Discogs reviews said it was phenomenal, beautiful, magical. Nope. It actually doesn't sound bad, but it has one huge strike against it, at least in my world, and that's sibilance on Simone's vocals. Sibilance. And it's right where you would expect it, on the S's. I know there's a better pressing out there, so I'll be patient and strike when the time is right. But that doesn't take anything away from the fact that this is a phenomenal record. Nina Simone, Little Girl Blue.
For tears would fill my eyes.
Next we have the chairman of the board, the voice, Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. Sinatra got his start in 1938 as a singing waiter. Just a year later, Sinatra would join the Harry James Orchestra, and the rest is history. Here are the first recordings of Sinatra from those humble times. I think this LP is the best way to own these original 78 RPM sides. These are the complete Sinatra Dorsey sessions in 3 volumes, each with 2 records. This series was released in 1982. Some collectors will ignore these recordings because they were apparently electronically rechanneled in stereo. But after many careful listenings, I would never guess that that was the case. Whatever they did was super subtle. These recordings sound great, and I love the form factor of this series. The early Sinatra is just great. His voice is smooth as silk. Some of my favorite early jazz music.
I tell myself
Next up, we have the velvety voice of Chet Baker. Known for his cool and laid-back style, Baker made a name for himself as a trumpet player before venturing into singing. His album Chet Baker Sings is a cherished gem by many jazz vocalist enthusiasts. Fun fact, Baker's voice was heavily influenced by the phrasing of the melodic sensibilities of his trumpet playing. I read where someone said of his singing, "It's defined by somnolent languidness," which translates to sleepy and relaxed. Baker is someone that honestly I ignored for a long time. I guess I thought his popular reputation wasn't for me, but now I definitely think there is a place for him in my collection. This is the 2022 UK reissue on blue 180 gram vinyl. The elephant in the room is that this has a different cover from the original and includes 2 tunes not on other reissues. If you're an audiophile, you're probably cringing right now, but sometimes I just have to take one for the team and see if I can recommend it or warn you against it. And this one sounds surprisingly good. I actually was not expecting much from this pressing, but I thought I would check it out, and I'm actually not disappointed. Whether you go for this or another pressing, this record is really fantastic.
Now, baby, I've been so lonesome too.
Here is the incomparable Billie Holiday. Her self-titled album from 1959 on Commodore Records showcases her raw and emotional voice, often hailed as one of the most distinctive in jazz history. Holiday's music resonates with listeners on a profound level, delving into themes of love, loss, and the human experience. Not only was she an exceptional artist, but she was also a trailblazer in the civil rights movement. She became the first African-American woman to work with an all-white band. One of her most famous songs, Strange Fruit, is considered one of the first protest songs. This record includes a lot of her early recordings, which I just love. I love the quality of her voice on these early tunes. This is the 1974 Japanese pressing, and it sounds really great.
I've been so sad and blue.
Love to hear my baby call my name.
Moving on to the dynamic Jimmy Rushing, a vocalist known for his commanding presence and deep baritone voice. The Essential Jimmy Rushing is a 2-record compilation that takes the listener on a delightful journey through his bluesy and swinging performances. Rushing was a key member of the Count Basie Orchestra, where his energetic stage presence made him a fan favorite. He appears on many Basie albums and performed live with Basie on numerous occasions, going back to the very early days. This is the 1974 US pressing, but this record has never been reissued, and it sounds really good.
Evening breeze, caress the trees.
All right, let's embrace the enchanting voice of Sarah Vaughn. Vaughn, often referred to as the Divine One, possessed an incredible vocal range and a remarkable ability to improvise. Her self-titled album from 1955 on MRC Records showcases her versatility and impeccable control. Vaughn's early training as a pianist greatly influenced her approach to singing, allowing her to effortlessly navigate complex melodic lines. It's no wonder she became one of the most influential jazz singers of all time. This is the 1974 Japanese pressing in mono, and it is one of the most impressive sonically produced albums on this list. When you situate yourself between the speakers just right, this pressing produces an image of Miss Vaughn right in front of you. And if you close your eyes, you'll swear you can just reach out and touch her. It's very impressive and makes you wonder why they can't make more records that sound like this. Sarah Vaughn, self-titled. I cannot recommend this record enough.
I can't forget.
I'll tell you what it's all about. It is without a doubt.
Here we have the iconic Nat King Cole. Cole had a smooth and velvety voice and was one of the most popular male singers going back to the very early days, producing his first recordings in 1936. That's 3 years before Sinatra's debut with Harry James. Cole began his musical journey as a jazz pianist, and this album, Nat King Cole Trio, In the Beginning, showcases his skills as both a vocalist and piano player. I was first introduced to early Nat Cole, his trio records, on CD through 2 fairly comprehensive titles, The Complete Capital Transcription Sessions and Hit That Jive Jack. So now I'm attempting to collect these records on vinyl, and this is a great place to start if you're looking to get into some early Nat Cole, which I think is just fantastic. This one's on Decca, and it sounds just great considering how old these recordings are.
That's the place for every gal and gator goes.
And you and I.
Okay, let's delve into the enchanting world of Ella Fitzgerald, known as the First Lady of Song. Fitzgerald's scat singing and remarkable vocal agility set her apart from her contemporaries. Her rendition of Mac the Knife on this record is just awesome. Her work with the Chick Webb Orchestra is also worth seeking out. Fitzgerald got her start in 1934 by winning an amateur night at the Apollo Theater, launching her 6 decades-long legendary career. Her impeccable technique and unparalleled improvisational skills make her a true jazz icon. Mac the Knife is a great way to get started with the First Lady of Swing. This is the US mono pressing from 1960, and it sounds excellent.
It is 5 o'clock in the morning. There is no one on the street but me, little baby.
This is the soulful Joe Williams, another Basie alum. Williams is known for his deep, resonant sound and his ability to infuse each song with incredible emotion. His work on Count Basie, The Greatest Joe Williams Sings Standards, showcases his dynamic range and effortless delivery. Don't be scared off by the word standards here, which can possibly have a negative connotation. These tunes are exceptionally backed by the one and only Count Basie Band and get the usual high-quality Basie attention that they deserve. Williams' career was closely intertwined with the legendary Count Basie Orchestra. Many of his performances with Basie are scattered all over Basie's catalog, so it's nice to have a whole album here that features the great Joe Williams. This is a 1962 US stereo pressing. This record was originally issued in 1956 in mono. This stereo pressing it actually sounds really good. I don't know what they do on some of these electronically enhanced stereo records. I mean, obviously, in some cases, they could just destroy a record trying to stereoify it. But in other cases, it's so subtle, you don't even really notice it. And on this one, it seems like maybe they tried to shift the vocals to the left channel a little bit. But I mean, overall, this sounds like a mono record to me. So anyway, I would recommend this record, whether it's in mono or stereo. Joe Williams, Sing Standards.
Sang a lullaby, you'd be all that I could desire.
No list on jazz singers is complete without the unbelievably talented Helen Merrell. Merrell's love for jazz began during her teenage years when she regularly attended jam sessions and became immersed in the vibrant New York jazz scene. Her debut album with Clifford Brown on trumpet from 1955 on MRC Records introduces us to her delicate and intimate vocal style. Merrell's pure tone and nuanced interpretations made her an immediate success and associated her with the first generation of bebop jazz musicians. After recording sporadically through the late 50s and 60s, Merrell spent much of her time touring Europe, where she enjoyed more commercial success than she had in the United States. But her status as an amazing singer was revived in the 1980s and 90s while under contract with Verve, when she continued to produce some amazing records in the US. This is the 1974 Japanese pressing in mono, and it is 10 out of 10. One of the things that makes this list of records so great is that not just the singing, but the music accompanying these vocalists is top notch. I was just listening to the Helen Merrell record, and the music itself is so great. And I think the same can be said for most, if not all, of these records. So who's on your top 10 list of greatest jazz singers? I could have made this list 20 artists long, but I didn't want to steal your thunder. Let me know in the comments who you would have included. Should I do another video of 10 more singers? If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.